All right, we're doing a live vlog today, and I don't know if Jinx wants to chat on screen, so it's not there. So for the opener, I will tell you a improv story. So how I got the crowd really good. So, there's a lot of like training and games and things you do for improv, and one of them is you just go on stage and everyone says a thing about you. It's just a statement about who you are, and it's kind of a game between you and the audience. And it starts out, the first guy goes, you broke the Guinness World Record on, you broke every record. I'm like, oh yes, yeah, I've broken every record. I haven't slept in 72 days, which did help with doing all those records, but yeah, I really wish I could sleep. That'd be great. There is one record I haven't broken, and that will be the sleeping record after this. And it just kept going, and then it became this big riff on someone going, and you made the biggest pizza. I'm like, yeah, it was amazing. It's a shame all those crops dying in Northern California from just all that coverage. But you gotta do what you gotta do. And it just kept going and going. And people were talking about how for the cheese for the pizza, they just kept going with the pizza. The cheese for the pizza, I had to get all these cows, and it caused a stampede. I'm like, yeah, poor Jeff. Too bad about Jeff. That one time Scarf achieved everything. And they're like, yeah, it's too bad when those milking machines broke. I'm like, yeah, I just had to whack off all these damn cows, and I ran around. I went across the stage, the entire way across the stage, mimicking milking. And that got the crowd going. That was really good. And it just kept going, and then they're like, yeah, you also broke the world record for the most Guinness drunk. I'm like, yeah, you need that much energy to do what I had to do. We of course filled up the lock, and well, we killed Nessie, but still, it was well worth it drinking all that and then finding out Nessie exists. So I got the record for finding a cryptid. So the record is 1. So that was pretty good. And then someone went, yeah, it's too bad that superhero went after you. It's too bad that superhero stopped me. Like, yeah, he stopped me for a minute, but then he saw my side of things, and that's how the pizza happened after all. I couldn't do it all on my own. And then someone was like, and then when you got Italy to help out, I'm like, yeah, I convinced them that if enough of them help, that maybe we can get the world record of them not sinking. That would work out pretty well there. And I did. And then somehow it turned into slave labor. So, like, the biggest slave owner, that happened as well. It went to places, not the best places at moments. But I had the world record for everything, and it was ridiculous. And that was a fun time. So there's your opener. One more thing from the improv, and that's got to be. It's just fun, and it proves to me that I actually do know how to entertain people still. It really does. If I have a crowd that lets me entertain them, I can entertain them. That's the biggest thing that improv has shown me, is that I still have it. It's just finding the audience to do it is the hard part. That really is the hard part. And it's a shame, but it is what it is. You got to find your audience, and I have not found enough of them. I have an audience. They're here in this live vlog, and I appreciate you all. I've had you guys for years. Speaking of that really quick, what was it? There was I gotta talk about this because I don't want to. I don't know who they are, which helps because I don't want to send anything towards them. But like the BS of this one streamer, where they noticed they have regulars, and they called them out on them not subbing to them. So they're like, "Why are you watching me for free? Why aren't you subbing to me?" It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't even. No, don't. What the hell was that about? Don't do that. You should never put someone on the spot. Yeah, her. You shouldn't put someone on the spot like that. Because people don't have money, or even if they do have money, like, it's just. You have kids watching you. Kids obviously don't have money. You can have adults watching you, but they can't afford to spend money on all these different things and this and that. I don't care. Uh, even if the channel was my only form of income, that's not the way I would try to get money from my viewers. I would try to get money from my viewers through advertising, through just trying to get more viewers, because maybe the new ones can give the subs, things like that. You don't put on the spot like that. It's just not right. It really isn't. In this thing, in this market, I will say. You make the money by volume and showing that you can draw a crowd and you can advertise to a crowd, things like that. Things like it's just you don't put anyone on the spot. If we even like if we had a Saudi prince as a viewer, I'm gonna be like, you want to hook me up with some oil money? No, come on, what's that about? You don't put anyone on the spot. I don't care how much money you got, even if you got like all the money ever. I'm not gonna say you should sub to me. That's not right. If someone wants to sub to me, they'll sub to me, and if they can't afford to sub to me, then at least they're there, and that's awesome too. Come on. I do say this as a person with a small audience, but I still feel this way if I had an audience of 10,000, and I want to say yes. Of course, power corrupts, but I want to still say yes because come on. There's just it's a weird entitlement to say that they're watching you for free, and they should be subbing and treating like not okay. It's not okay. It really is not okay. But that's for this market. That's for this market. Like, I'm not a fan of piracy if you can afford it. Like, if you can't afford to subscribe to Crunchyroll or whatever, I don't have a complaint about you pirating. Because you just can't afford Crunchyroll. That's fine. You can't afford whatever game you still really want to play it. I'm not gonna tell you to pirate, but if that's what you do, I'm not gonna give you crap for it. It's the people who think they're morally right for pirating. That's where it's weird. That's where it's weird. I'm like, what? That's weird. That's a really weird hill to die on. Just being morally right to pirate. It's more you just shouldn't consume it at all. That's the way I see it. I would not like whatever like Blizzard. We know I'm not happy with Blizzard right now, so I'm not playing any more Blizzard things after we're done with StarCraft because we did that because of Carbot. I don't want to play anything StarCraft anymore. I mean, anything Blizzard anymore. If they gave me free copies or they wanted to pay me for it or whatever, I'd have to put thought into that. I'd be like, I don't know. If someone gave me a free copy of the game, not them paying me, that'd be a whole different thing. That'd be a whole different thing. Why did I go there? My brain's messed up on that. It went to the wrong wire on that. What I meant was, I would not feel morally right to steal from Blizzard, even though I don't like what's going on with Blizzard. And I made the wrong example. That didn't make any sense, actually. If they pay me, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm selling out. By the way, I saw someone they showed for Raid Shadow Legends that they get paid $7,200 for that advertisement. I don't know. I think it's like for a month of that advertisement. For that Raid Shadow Legends advertisement. I would ask, could I just not say it to script because everyone says to script and that's really weird? Can I not? Or can I say I'm selling out and then say it to script? Are you allowed to do that? I don't know. You know, it's really some of the selling out is weird. Yeah, some people are offered $1,500. It really depends on how big you are, how much you're offered. Really, it really depends on how big or how much you're offered. Damn, 72,000 for 7,200 for Raid Shadow Legends, which is an okay game. It's an okay game. I played it. It's all right. Brought to you by I knew it by heart for a minute because I was watching too many people with that damn ad. Too many people with that ad, and when they're getting a couple thousand thrown at you, you understand why everyone's making guilds in their ad. Like the ad says they got to make a guild, they're getting paid for it, and damn. Question: curious if they had obligations or not on that. We're going to tangents up in here. Tangent to tangent to tangent. So here's a new tangent. They've been showing clips of the Sonic movie, and they're selling me on the movie. It's partially because I like that voice actor. Dewey Duck as Sonic is perfect. I'm loving it a lot. I'm absolutely loving it. I actually can't wait to see this movie now. Like, it might not be good still, but everything with Sonic has been pretty great. The clips I've seen, it could just be cherry picking. It could be an awful movie. But the cherry picking I've seen has made me like, yeah, I want to see this movie for sure. It is a damn shame, though, that the studio who did all the work on this movie, they're gone. They got fired. They got laid off, is the right word. That is a damn shame. That sucks. The movie's not even out yet. Speaking of that, like, what was it? They took forever to put the Sonic movie out because they didn't want to crunch the artists. Yeah, they got laid off. They don't even get to see the movie come out yet, and they got laid off. It really sucks. So crunch. They extended the time for the Sonic movie so they wouldn't crunch the artists. And then we hear about another crunch happening. So Doom 2, Doom Eternal's coming out in March, right? They've been crunching to get to that point. And they delayed from October to March. And apparently they've been crunching like a lot. Like a lot of 2019 was crunching. And that's a damn shame to find out is they've just been crunching this whole time. Because I thought the point was to not allow crunching to happen. But no, they're still crunching because it still wasn't enough time. So really, I feel like publishers and developers really need to be less optimistic about release dates. They really need to, because as we've advanced in technology and in the more little things we add to things, like whatever graphics and bugs and things like that, got to take into account how long that'll take and increase dev time, for sure. And so that means release dates should be further away. That's really what needs to happen, so we actually do avoid crunch. Although I still like the delay on this one, because this delay made it that Doom Eternal comes out the same day as Animal Crossing, and we're going to play both those games that day. We're going to play both of them on stream. It's going to be hilarious to me. I can't wait. It's March 20th. I work that day. I might just take that day off. It's not a good reason, but I still want to take that day off. Yeah, Final Fantasy Remake got delayed as well. Cyberpunk got delayed, didn't it? Or they're thinking about delaying it. A lot of delays happening. But the bigger games get, no surprise there. I'm curious about the multiplayer for Cyberpunk. If it's just versus, I don't care. If it's co-op, I'm more interested in Cyberpunk for that. I'm already happy to play it because Keanu Reeves is in it, just because. Nah, I'm actually just interested in it. Like, Keanu Reeves being in it is kind of curious to me. Also, just, it's CD Projekt Red, so they're going to put in the work. Speaking of details, real quick, Monster Hunter Iceborne. Just watching the cats cook is an amazing attention to detail. Oh my god, looking at the food is amazing attention to detail. Somebody likes food at Capcom. Because there are just screenshots upon screenshots of different Capcom games with food that looks really good and sometimes very photorealistic. It's amazing. There's just I think it's from Devil May Cry, I might be wrong, where there's a slice of pizza and it looks photo perfect. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I want that piece of pizza. It looks really good. It's like someone's got a fetish. In this case, someone really likes food, kind of thing. Like, I keep saying like. People have remade the Monster Hunter meals look so good. I know there is a restaurant in Japan that has a 10 kg meat bone. Like, it's this big piece of meat with the bone, and apparently the more in you go, the better it tastes. And it's supposed to be Monster Hunter themed, and I want. I don't know how much money I would need to save to do all the things I want to do in Japan, but it's probably a year's worth of work, probably. Like, it's probably, if I want to do the Monster Hunter meal, if I want to go to the Kirby Cafe, if I want to go just see all the anime sites and the gaming sites, and also there's a Super Mario World now? A Super Nintendo World at like Universal in Japan? I want to see that now. Yeah, theme restaurants the biggest. I want to do that kind of thing. There's like a One Piece land. I want to see that. Alone, I already want to do like just stay in Tokyo for a week and just go to Kirby Cafe every day. That's just a random thing I want to do because of course I do. I would love to go see a sumo wrestling match, by the way, just something more cultural. I'd love to see that for sure. And also just see the cherry blossoms, but I think the timing would be different for all these different things. A Food Wars restaurant? Food Wars is too over the top for me. It's just too over the top for me because everyone is just spooging their pants. That was too over the top. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Authentic sushi experience is a dangerous thing. I think you do that on your last day. The reason for that is authentic sushi is actually raw, while as sushi in the US is cooked so that you don't get sick. Like they pre-cook that stuff here. When you do real raw, you will have a bathroom moment. So I think I'd rather do that at the end of the trip than at the start. Though, of course, if you don't have a bad time dealing with it, then you can just go to town on the sushi in Japan. That's also a choice right there. I'm looking at myself on the screen. Am I just going super villain look right now? Jesus, look at this thing. Another tangent. What was the other tangent? Can't think. Oh, real Kobe beef. Yeah, that'd be great. Like, real Kobe beef would be cool. Like, because there's Kobe-like beef here, but it's not actually Kobe beef. Like, what is the real beef? That would be cool to try, for sure. Because restaurants will be like, we have Kobe beef. No, you don't. No, you don't. It's Kobe-like. Yeah, for sure it is food-based things want to do, for sure. Like, any country want to eat the food, want to eat the drink, want to have drink the drinks. Those are things to be interested in doing. Like, it's really food, honestly. To be a gourmand would be amazing, right? That's Bourdain. That's Anthony Bourdain, right? If you've seen Dave Chappelle's special, he talks about Anthony Bourdain and just it is a trip when it's just depression can happen to anybody. Anthony Bourdain was paid to go around the world and just have all the best food, and how is that not the awesomest job? And he still killed himself. Of course, it was a very stressful thing, that job for him. Anything can be stressful. Any job can be stressful, but just like that just feels like the dream. You get to eat amazing stuff around the world, and damn. Like, I'm just boiling this thing down. He talks about Anthony Bourdain had this amazing thing and then he committed suicide. Whereas he had a friend who had this insanely awful life and he never considered suicide. It's an interesting thing, just like, yeah, that's just how some people be. That's just how some people are built. They just don't get depression. While some people do. Or just randomly get them. Let me tell you a random story. Out of nowhere. So, I have an uncle. I'm going to tell two stories about my uncle real quick. Yeah, some people can just handle it better, yeah. He's a marine instructor, right? So, like, drill sergeant or whatever? Like, drill instructor, that's the word. He's that guy. The guy with the hat who's just yelling at people all day, the people he's training. And one time on the base, his wife, my aunt, she's there, she's visiting to give him lunch, and he wasn't able to switch modes fast enough, so he's like screaming at the cadets or whatever the hell they're called. He's screaming at the trainees, and then she's there, and he screams at her, forgetting to switch because he was just in that mode, and she flipped out and chewed him out at the base in front of the trainees. Just straight up just put him in his place. It was not good. So yeah, he lost that one. He didn't turn the switch in time. Because obviously, yeah, this is a character. Yeah, he lost a bunch of face. Yeah, this is a character. When you're a drill instructor, that's a character. Unless you're really that person. That is a character, and he was very aggressive and everything to do the training and everything. He just didn't switch in time when he was talking to his wife. Because he's a very sensitive person. I came to learn this over time about my uncle. But he doesn't let that show all that much. He's very much, because of course he's a Marine dude, a very just strong on the outside kind of person. But one time I saw the softer side of him, and it was amazing. Because one time, and I can't remember if it was the San Diego Zoo or SeaWorld, because I forget where these are. They have a giant manatee tank, and I'm talking, like, if you've seen, like Aquaman, like the big tank, like just a giant tank with sea creatures in it that is just in front of you. It's just so many feet high, and you can tell it's so deep across. There's a bunch of different creatures in there. And this one had manatees. And we're just walking through, and the manatee stuff is just right there, and he just stops, and he goes to the tank, and it's straight up Aquaman. Goes to the tank, and he looks at the manatees. And then he puts his hand on the glass, and a manatee came over and just faced his hand. And it was like, what? It was something, it was next level. It was next level. I'm like, what? He just reached out, and a manatee came over. And I swear, I kid you not, a tear's going down his freaking face. I could not believe that. I don't remember how young I was when I saw that. He was accepted by the sea cows, yeah. Do you think manatees like hugs? I hope they like hugs. It was amazing. I was just so surprised. It was like, just, how does that, just, it happened. Like a scene from a movie kind of thing. Like he secretly was a manatee that became a Marine or something. He's just reaching out to his people. It was something next level there. Like, just didn't realize he had a passion for manatees. Manatees were his thing. He loves manatees. Tripped me out. That was a random tangent. Yeah, manatees are mermaids. Yeah, manatees are mermaids. Maybe he's their Ariel. He wanted to go to land, and so there you go. He did his thing, and he got on land and had to lead the manatees. Oh my god. Another tangent. It's an interesting when kids blow holes or poke holes into just kids' things. Like a kid going like, why didn't Ariel just write a message to Prince Eric? I was like, well, she doesn't know how to write in English. But the thing's like, how come she signed her name in English? I was like, maybe she only knows how to sign her name. That's a thing. I don't know. By the way, I think that's the most metal death. Let me look at thinking really quick about Disney villain deaths. Scar gets just eaten, devoured by the hyenas. Frollo falls and gets burned into a fire, going straight to hell. Maleficent's a dragon, just gets straight up killed like a dragon, just stabs her. What are some other villains? The Snow White Witch she just succumbs. She falls off a cliff. Oh, Clayton's death is pretty good. Good. Pretty messed up. He hangs himself on accident. That is a pretty good kill. It's a pretty good kill. Gaston's death is pretty good. There's skulls in his eyes as he falls to his death. That's pretty good. The Hun from Mulan, that's just a fun death. Getting blown up. But the most metal death is Ursula. Ursula is the most metal death. And why I say that is because she takes a boat to the chest. How metal is that? She took a boat to the chest. That is metal. And spoiler warning for if you've never seen Disney movies. She takes a boat to the chesticles and just dies. Like, holy shit. That is a kill. That is a kill. You take a boat. Yeah, a boat-tacular manslaughter, yes. The fan theory is that Ursula is Triton's sister, and yeah, that totally fits as far as I can tell. By the way, I still don't... I'm gonna blame Ursula. I still don't see what's wrong with the Little Mermaid box cover. Jinx can put on the screen if she wants. I might have to just look at it to see it, but apparently there's a penis? But I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I did see the chest in Rescuers Down Under. I remember seeing that. On the original VHS release, okay. I have it. It's in my closet. Not mine, but like it's in my family closet. I have it. I don't see it. Jafar doesn't really have a really brutal death. No, Jafar doesn't go down that great. One of the Golden Towers is phallic shaped. Maybe I'm innocent. Yeah, that's the most metal death. That is a pretty metal death. Trying to think of Don Bluth's kills. There's one that isn't Don Bluth, but I thought it was Don Bluth, and that's We're Back, A Dinosaur Story. The death of that villain is pretty damn good. Bambi's mom, oh god. Oh, by the way, one type of that. New tangent. They're going to do live action Bambi, and I'm actually excited for that because this is the only live action I've actually been interested in. Like, Mulan seems like it might be good, but everything around Mulan has made me not want to watch it. But the Dumbo live action remake, I wasn't interested in. Lion King live action remake, wasn't interested in. Aladdin, no. Beauty and the Beast, no. Maleficent, does that count? I don't think that counts, does it? No. Maleficent, I've seen parts of it, seems okay. What are the other ones? Alice in Wonderland, no. I just wasn't interested in any of those. This one I'm interested in. The reason why I'm interested in this one is because Bambi, if you don't remember it, that's okay, because who remembers it? It's just a bunch of vignettes. It's just, here's a moment, break. Here's a moment, break. Here's a moment, break. Here's a moment, break. It's just these little moments that happen in Bambi's life, and then it's a time skip. That's what the movie is, constantly. It is, this moment happens, time skip. This moment happens, time skip. Like, things like Bambi's birth, time skip. Bambi learning how to walk. I think they learned how to walk in the first one. Bambi dealing with snow. Bambi dealing with spring. And all these things. Time skip, time skip, time skip. Bambi's mom dies, time skip. So I've been interested in seeing a cohesive movie. So that's why I'm actually interested in the live action version. I'm also, of course, very interested in seeing how they handle the mother's death. That is very interesting to me. And I also, what I'm really interested in seeing, more than anything, I think, is how Bambi handles the death of their mother. Because that could be a very interesting scene. That could be a very compelling scene. That will rely on doing the CG well, which Lion King did not do. All that money spent on that movie and the emotions of those lions was just god-awful. There was no emotional impact in that movie. It was not good. It was a waste of money that made $1 billion, in my opinion. Like, on an art... The best thing about... Well, the Jungle Book live action was actually pretty good. The best thing about the Lion King movie, the live action remake, was just the technology advancements they made. That's the best part of it. But... I don't think the movie is very good. I really don't think it was very good at all. Speaking of the Lion King movie, the BS that Klaus didn't get a Golden Globes nomination is ridiculous. I think Klaus is the best animated movie of 2019 for sure. As a technical achievement, I get why Laika's Missing Link got it, but Klaus, I think, is also an achievement. Klaus is another technical achievement as well, and Klaus should be getting all the awards. It should be beating Pixar. It should be beating Disney. It definitely should be Missing Link. Missing Link was... Is aight. It visually is not... There's some good visuals there, but... Is aight. Is the best way to put it. It's aight. Klaus was amazing. Klaus is my favorite Christmas movie. And you don't even need to be a Christmas person to like the movie. I think it's just a good movie. I think being a Christmas person probably helps it, but I think it's just a solid movie on its own. It's the story of what kindness can do to a town, basically, and how it just comes together. It's also because it's partially The Emperor's New Groove. By the way, I think The Emperor's New Groove is one of those rare movies where the villain doesn't die, huh? Because I don't remember Isma dying. Isma doesn't die, does she? The Sammy Girl's the best part of that movie. The Sammy Girl's the Sammy Girl scene is the best part of that movie. Bar none. Like, that whole musical segment and everything, that is the best part of that movie. Was Krunk working for Isma because he was in love with her, or he just really believed in her, or what? I can't remember why Krunk was just such a good sidekick to her. They were a fun team. He's just a hired goon? Really? They have amazing chemistry and he's just a hired goon? Dang. I think the best villains have the best goons. Like, the most entertaining villains have the best goons. That's for sure. Not the best villains can stand alone for sure, but the best entertaining villains have really good goons to bounce off of. For sure. As far as the Disney villains go, who's the best villain? I think the best villain song is Frollo. From Hunchback, I think he's got the best song. Hellfire is the best villain song of all time, in my opinion. I like how this has become a Disney vlog. That is the best villain song of all time, in my opinion, is Hellfire. Hades? I can't remember Hades' song right now. One more tangent. James Woods breaks my heart with how far gone he's gotten. He's so angrily, aggressively just hateful now. It really breaks my heart who he is now. He just hates everyone who isn't on his side. Sometimes people suck, and they're not always Princess and the Frog. With Keith David? I don't remember what song that one is. I remember I liked Princess and the Frog. I wasn't a big fan of The Fly, who loved Evangeline. That whole thing. That might have been a little too... That part of it just felt a little too racist for me. The Princess and the Frog felt a little too racist for me at times. It really did. I'm like, damn. Then again, like, everything's white besides it. But besides Princess and the Frog, pretty much. The Creole representation. Yeah. That's something I liked about Brave, is that there's no big villain. And that's the thing I hate about Frozen, is they added a big villain. Brave, it's just a situation and dealing with that and getting over it. That was pretty good. I think Brave deserves more credit than it gets. It was a pretty good movie. I will feel Frozen's overrated, and I will always feel that way. As good as it is, as good as that damn song is, as good as the songs in general, half the songs are good, half the songs are not. I always will hate the villain they chose to make out of it. And that's why I never shut up whenever I hear about Frozen, is I just hate what they didn't need to make that villain. Oh yeah, Frozen 2 came out. I haven't seen it yet. I still haven't seen it because I just 2 left me cold. I mean, Frozen 1 left me cold. Frozen 2 made a lot of money. It made a lot of money. Still need to see it though. I haven't seen it yet. Apparently she gets a pet, so that's all I know, and the pet's really cute. I've heard people who loved 1 hated 2, and people who hated 1 loved 2. So apparently I need to see 2 and see what I think. Okay, we're going long, so let's see. How do I want to end this? We could just keep going. That's what live vlogs are. They just keep going because it's people bouncing off each other. Friends from the Other Side. Oh, that song. Now I remember that song. I like Keith David as a villain. I liked him as a villain for sure. Keith David I feel like he's an underrated actor. Even though he's been in a lot of things, I feel like he's an underrated actor. Like, he doesn't get appreciated enough, though a lot of people do appreciate him. So I don't know. He just feels like he's underappreciated. But everyone knows who he is to an extent. At least by his voice, people know who he is. He's got a good, distinct voice. I got no good stopping point, so we'll just stop. This was a live vlog. I think it was a pretty good one. Thank you to the people who were here for the live vlog. I won't name names, so people who weren't here, you know. China's dying now. That's the way to end it. Well, yeah, good. Okay, we talked about this yesterday when we were just streaming. Have they confined Wuhan? Yeah, it's Wuhan, right? They confined Wuhan, right? They put if you hide your illness and don't tell anyone, there's like this whole public shaming thing they're gonna do. Yeah, Wuhan's completely shut down, as it should be. The virus is still spreading. Shh, not good. Because this is crucial. Like, they're also building a new hospital, so that'll be built tomorrow. China builds things very quickly because they have the labor for it. They have amazing amounts of people, obviously. So they can get the labor for anything very quickly. The only thing slowing them down is time. Like, just waiting for cement to dry. That's the kind of thing. That's the only thing slowing down China when they build things, because they have labor. Chinese woman took pills to hide symptoms, flew to France and bragged about it. They found her almost immediately afterwards. Jeez! Yeah, a chance mutation. Yeah, don't brag about it. France has it now? Most of these. Yeah, here's the problem. It might also be an airborne vector. Yeah, that's not good. A one confirmed in the U.S., not good. That's not good. What's dangerous about it What's dangerous about it happening in China is Chinese New Year's coming. Oh, Chinese New Year's is about to be here, actually. It's like, what, 1 or 2 days away? That means everybody over, everybody out. That's what that means. That's very dangerous. Yeah, Chinese New Year's, like, I think it's actually happening right now. But it's going to be done by the time the vlog comes out. So, that's dangerous. Okay, here's how I'll end it. Here's how I'll end it. A story of how Scarf didn't have enough balls for a situation. Also, probably it would have been weird. Also, they probably don't speak English. Scarf was at a Chinese New Year's thing one time. Maybe they do speak English. It was this performing group from China. They flew them in. It was in Vegas, because of course it was. It was Chinese New Year maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And it was this girl, and she was playing one of the Chinese instruments. I don't remember what it's called. And it was amazing. It mesmerized me from the start to the finish. It was 5 minutes long. I cried at the end of it. It was so good. And after it, they're doing the next act and whatever, and she's off to the side. Had a chance to say it was amazing or something or anything to her, and I didn't take the shot. It might have been near who. I think it might be, honestly. It might be that one. What you're describing, it might be like a violin but play like a cello. It might be that. It really might be that. And so had a chance to just say to the artist, I really liked what they did. It was amazing. And I didn't take the shot. Because sometimes you just don't have the balls. I did not have the balls. I don't even know if I'd take the shot now. Really, I have no idea. But it was so good, it hit me to the soul, to the core, to the center. It was amazing to me. It was breathtaking in every sense of the word. And I just couldn't approach. Sometimes people have a force field around them for me. And that's what happened there. I was a shy person, so that's how it'd be. Alright, so that's how we ended it. That is it. Hopefully we don't all die because of China. Also, that's awful if I'm laughing and it does happen. Hopefully they get a handle on it, because this is what happens. Like, people keep being like, why are we scared of this? Why are we scared of that? Only like the small number died. That's because we took a handle on it. We put a handle on it, because if we don't put a lid on these things, anything really bad could go widespread and just wipes out a big bunch of us. That's why we take so much initiative on these things. That's why people are like this. That's why anti-vaxxers are like, they're like, why vaccinate? This thing's not around anymore. It's because we vaccinated. It's that kind of thing. Alright, so that's the vlog. I have fun talking about it from watching and listening, and this is 40 minutes, so Jinx is going to kill us all. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.